Hi, and welcome back to Love Stories by Pat Stewart. Are you aware of how much research Pat put into writing her stories? Well, in this week's podcast, called Moving Miss Manor, Pat tells the true story of how a company moved an old historic home called Cherrydale to its new location on the Furman University campus. She fictionalized the name of the home, of course, but she interviewed the moving crew so she, and now you, can learn how to safely move a 150-year-old structure. Part 5, Moving Miss Manor. You're going to do what? Did I hear you right? You say you're going to make me move? I was born right here on this spot in 1843, over 150 years ago, and I've never moved. I like this neighborhood. Why should I move now? No one asked me about this. A shopping center will be built on my manicured lawn next year. Shouldn't I have something to say about this? My owner died, and his family doesn't want a stately old mansion like me. He says the Acme developers will make my spread a shopping center, a conglomerate of stores. Old Navy, Goodies, and Ross Dress for Less will be selling clothes. Wendy's and Atlanta Bread Company will feed the hungry hordes who come to the stores. They will even have a dollar zone where everything's a dollar. I can't bear the thought. What will become of me? Will they just tear me limb from limb and throw me into the landfill? That can't happen to an elegant maven like me. When life goes out of a house, it dies. I heard the conversation between the Berry family and those folks from that college up the hill. That oldest son is selling me to the Baptist seminary. If I have young people around me, I'll stay alive. Let me introduce myself. My name is Berrydale, for the Berry family. I have superb credentials. My appearance is my biggest attribute. Folks come to admire my front porch and portico and the magnificent pillars on the front. Let me show you inside. I don't mean to boast, but there aren't many houses like me anymore. My 12-foot ceilings are trimmed with delicate crown moldings. My 8 fireplaces, all with hand-carved mantels, are not seen in many places. My baseboards are genuine marble. I don't want my fancy mirrors and arched doorways to crack and crumble. My velvet-flocked wallpaper is the highest quality, and if my walls crack, the wallpaper will be history. What would moving do to my internal parts? Would I still function like before? Would my plumbing spring leaks? I don't want to become an incontinent old lady. Shaking everything up from below could start problems I've never had before. My leaded glass windows are my eyes to the world. I don't want to go blind in my old age. Now I still see as well as anyone half my age. I want some say in what happens to me. Will a seminary have grand parties? I'm used to a life of luxury living with wealthy people. The Berry family mill was the biggest business in Mountain View, South Carolina, and employed thousands of workers. They had many friends in high places. They entertained politicians and mayors. Strom Thurmond slept in one of my guest bedrooms, once when he was governor and later when he was Senator Thurmond. The Berrys knew how vulnerable this house could be and the risks from moving it. We found the best moving company in the area. AAA Movers moved the lighthouse on Cape Hatteras. They know what they're doing, said Peter Berry, the oldest son. They'll move in with a hydraulic jack and cribbing timbers and get the house off the foundation and ready to move. He had the job of overseeing this relocation. That sounds awful. Will it affect my back when those workers start digging out from under me and pull out my foundation? I can just hear my joists creak when they start putting cribbing timbers under my lower body. My mortise and tenon joints are old and stiff. Moving someone as old as me is downright dangerous. I don't want my back thrown out at my age. I may never recover. I might even end up with arthritis from this handling. "We'll do the job right," said Dick Moran, the company foreman. "We come in with heavy-duty equipment, all the right stuff, and we do it right. We'll keep this lady exactly as she was before moving. We start by cutting holes in the foundation and use hydraulic jacks to move her off." Ouch! I hope they give me an anesthetic to dull the pain. This sounds as bad as a trip to the dentist for an old house. "Next, we put these long, heavy timbers through these openings to shore up the house," said Moran. "The jacks do their work to lift this baby off the foundation. Steel beams go under next. These will hold the house on wheels to travel to that fancy Baptist seminary a few miles away." I'm getting more nervous the more I hear about this moving business. How can I let them know I don't want to do this? What will happen to my windows, my heating system, my beautiful floors? "We board up the windows, keeping the original glass in them. No broken windows to replace." "That means I'll have my eyes and not have to get glasses when we get there. How about that trip up the highway? I'm not sure I can maneuver around all that traffic on a busy road. What about all those wires that can electrocute me as I travel? I have feelings too." Moving day is a major project. We need the city, the county, and the utilities to be there ahead of time. We do this early on a Sunday morning, moving traffic lights and utility poles. We've checked out the road and know that we've got a problem. We may have to cut down a few trees so such a big load can pass through. Does anyone care about me and how I feel about all this? I want to say something here. I like where I live now. I don't want to be uprooted and maybe lose my life in the process. How can I stop this madness? The next day, Moran came to check things out. "This is a magnificent specimen to move. It is the best I've seen for a house this age. She can withstand the trauma of moving. Her floors are in excellent shape. We'll replace the plumbing so she doesn't have a problem with leaks afterward. I can tell she has a strong constitution by her looks. When you see her, she's got a special appeal. We'll keep that in mind as we move her. She's a real elegant lady, you can tell just by looking at her." Now that's a man after my own heart. I can tell he knows how special I am and how to treat a real lady like me. Preparations began in earnest early in February. The weather held out. It was cold, but snow didn't hamper the work. Sightseers dropped by to watch the progress. The seminary had its own work to do, too. Getting a new house on campus meant being ready for this lady to rest. Her new home place would be more magnificent than the back lot of a textile mill. The alumni were getting a place ready for the new house. "It will be our visitor center when we get it here and fixed up," said Reverend Ronald Reeves, headmaster at the seminary. "No one has such an elegant place to meet new students and visitors." So far, I've been treated pretty well. I haven't had a lot of pain, and nothing has broken down in my deepest parts. I'm up on the truck, ready to go up the road. I've heard plans for a big party to see me roll away from here. I hope the road is cleared so my chimneys stay up there. These guys have been real pros. If any other house needs moving, I'd recommend these boys. March 7th, Moving Day. Of all days to move, it's been in the 30s today and everyone is complaining about the wind. It's supposed to snow tomorrow, so they better get me up to my new digs. Traffic on Highway 8 has stopped. The place is crawling with power trucks, traffic engineers, policemen, TV cameras, and people of all ages and sizes. Vendors sell hot chocolate, and house-moving t-shirts were doing a booming business. Everybody got a free hard hat like the movers wore. Berrydale moved up to her new foundation on the seminary campus. There were a few glitches along the way. I got scratched up along the narrow road. They didn't cut down enough shrubbery. That made us wait another 3 hours, and I worried about getting to that new place before dark. I surely didn't want to sit on a lonely road all night. I didn't have to do that. They got me onto the campus before nightfall, and I saw a big crowd there too. The whole college must have turned out to be there when I arrived. I guess maybe it was worth it. All my worries proved to be unfounded. My plumbing works, and my porch and portico are jewels to behold. Now that I'm settled in, I hear they are throwing me a grand opening party. I'm the guest of honor, and I'm proud of how well I held up. This moving is a snap. No problem. I'm ready to party. The musical Godspell was a Broadway hit in the 1970s. 30 years later, Pat and her husband saw the performance in Greenville. She was a little distracted by the TV sets and kids tossing beach balls during intermission, but overall, well, let's find out if she enjoyed it in next week's podcast. Well, everybody, later this week, we'll be celebrating Pat's favorite holiday, which is Thanksgiving. She always said it didn't matter if you cooked a turkey or ate bologna sandwiches, as long as you're surrounded by your favorite people. I'm so grateful to each of you, and I hope your Thanksgiving will be filled with great food and your favorite people. Happy Thanksgiving.